I've been taking my time, taking all of your time, taking all of your time.
Hey, my trendies, trendsetters, and my trendy tribe. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Let me know if you can hear me. Let me see. Oh, thank you. Okay, y'all can hear me. Okay. I am going to do quick greetings because I want to tell y'all something before we get into Tiffany Henyard. And yeah, it'll be a short thing, but I do want to tell y'all something. Okay, so hey, my big sis Peaches and Cream, part of the Mod Squad. How are you? Hey, Ann Green, Hill 75, Shirley Macklin, Bonnie Mason, VG. Bonnie was number 10 on the like button. Thank you. My sweet sis 41 Fit is here, part of the Mod Squad and an awesome content creator. Let me see. 41 Fit said she was number 13. Leah's grandma, +1. Good afternoon, number 12. Hey, Pisces Life. Hey, Lori Harrison, Kim Jones, my legal eagle, Shan. Hey, Shan, part of the Mod Squad. Hey, J28T, how you doing? Lady B. Oh, I like this emoji too. What is it doing? Is it snapping? What is it doing? How are you, Lady B? Hey, let me see. Let me keep going. Going down. Hey, Gloria Williams. How are you? And Miss Cheryl Tuff from Seattle. Okay. I want to tell y'all, look, do y'all see how YouTube do? When it is like, we don't care, it's not going to notify my people. So thank goodness y'all either got notified or happened to see the thumbnail. YouTube is trifling sometimes. A lot of times. It be trifling. When we cover content that is not always the most popular to YouTube, what they assume our people want to talk about, this is how they do us, and I don't appreciate it. So even if you have all your notifications on, which I appreciate if you do, because it does help a lot of times, but this is what's gonna happen. I'm gonna see my people be like, I didn't even know you did that. It didn't even notify me. And I be getting tired of this sometimes, of not y'all, of how YouTube does us. And I just had a little bit of time I needed to vent about that. I don't appreciate it. It definitely, especially if you are a newer content creator, don't let it discourage you. Keep going. It'll eventually catch up with you and everything, but don't feel pushed to be put in a box. I'll say it that way. Don't feel pushed to put it in a box. I do have some, speaking of, I do have at least one Love and Marriage Huntsville topic that I'm going to cover after sometime maybe mid next week. So be looking out for some court cases mid next week because yeah, it'll just be, that's when I'll be covering that. So just in case, just wanted y'all to know I have some things I wanted to cover court related. Okay, let me go ahead and get into why we're here, which is Tiffany Henyard. And I have a lot of updates on her. So stick with me. Some are videos, some are articles, but we got to get caught up on all the things Tiffany Henyard. This woman be wilding. Jay said, which is worse, Nightbot or YouTube? I vote Nightbot. Since Nightbot doesn't pay me, I'm gonna have to agree with you that Nightbot still would be the worst. I know you and Nightbot got your own beef though. Hey, Miss Lady One. Okay, so hold on. Let's see here. Hello. Okay, so let's start with Dolton cop says Henyard police commanders violated law by promoting unqualified offers to sergeant. This was May 14th, 2024. So this is about the time we left off with other updates about Tiffany Henyard. And when I tell you we have a lot of updates, we do. I have a few up here and I have more that I just have to bring over to this window. All right. So it says a police officer is the latest public employee to file suit against the village of Dolton and controversy plagued Mayor Tiffany Henyard, accusing Henyard of illegally declaring other officers promoted to sergeant when they didn't pass the test and weren't approved by the village board. The lawsuit further accused the mayor and police brass of retaliating against him for reporting other alleged misconduct by a fellow officer to the state's police standards oversight board. On May 6th, plaintiff Jeffrey DeVries filed suit in Cook County Circuit Court against the Village Henyard, the Village of Dolton Board of Fire and Police Commissioners, and other individual defendants. According to the complaint, DeVries filed an anonymous complaint in October 2023 when the Illinois Law Enforcement Training and Standards Board accusing another officer of allegedly writing bogus parking tickets to residents and others, quote, to boost revenue for the village. A few weeks later, DeVries was identified as the village's top candidate to be promoted to the rank of sergeant. According to the complaint, he ranked first on the department's eligibility list with a score of 72.9%. According to the complaint, officers must score at least 70% to be placed on the eligibility list. Scores were calculated in part using so-called chief merit points, according to the complaint. DeVries received 2 merit points, or 40% of the total possible. Other officers received more chief merit points than DeVries, apparently boosting their overall scores. However, those officers still did not score at least 70%. The complaint asserts the list was not created legally by the BFPC, but rather solely by the board's chairman, Devontae Stewart, who is employed by the village. According to the complaint, DeVries emailed Stewart explaining that the final eligibility list appeared to include individuals who did not qualify to appear on the list and that it violated the law to include those individuals because their scores were too low. According to the complaint, Stewart did not respond to the email, and DeVries was then ordered by a commander not to contact Stewart. Stewart is named as a defendant in the action along with Dolton Police Chief Lewis Lacey. Despite their alleged apparent illegal inclusion on the list, Henyard on January 2nd, 2024, declared 4 sergeant candidates to be promoted without a vote by the village board and administered the oath of office to the 4 officers. A few days later, according to the complaint, Stewart issued a revised promotional list which allegedly artificially altered the scores to place DeVries last on the list, giving the other 4 new sergeants significantly higher scores. Then, at the end of January and in February, DeVries was allegedly required to undergo disciplinary interrogation concerning his earlier supposedly anonymous report to the ILESTB. DeVries confirmed he had filed the report with the state board. The village then ordered DeVries suspended without pay for 5 days. DeVries asserts the suspension amounted to illegal retaliation against him for reporting misconduct, which is protected by the Illinois Whistleblower Protection Act. DeVries is seeking a court order finding the village violated the law and ordering the village to pay him compensatory damages of more than $5,000 plus attorney's fees. That's actually really reasonable. DeVries is also taking the court to declare the village asking the court to declare the village promoted sergeants illegally. He is seeking a court order requiring the village to promote him to the rank of sergeant with back pay or require the promotion of sergeants to be placed before the village board as required by law with a vote based on the November 2023 final eligibility list, not the allegedly altered list issued in January, allegedly to justify the promotion of the other 4 candidates. The lawsuit is but the latest targeting Henyard's administration. Henyard has been repeatedly accused of corruption, misgovernance, and lawlessness since she took office as village president in the South Suburban community in 2021. Okay, we're going to keep going because I'm not even going to recap because we have more to go. So there's no recapping all the other things she did. Check out check out the other ones. I don't know if she has her own playlist, but if you search Tiffany Henyard, you'll find her. Hey, Elisa. Hey, that's the Miss Lady One, Indigo Girl. All right. This one says Dolton trustees appoint mayor pro tempore amid Tiffany Henyard investigation. Dolton trustees appointed a mayor pro tempore Monday night to serve in place of Mayor Tiffany Henyard if she refuses to execute her duties. This was May 14th. Trustee Jason House was voted in as mayor pro tem and could sign off on village business and pay bills in Henyard's absence. Henyard was not present at Monday's special board meeting. This is not a replacement. This ordinance is strictly in the refusal or inability for the mayor to do her duties and appointed senior trustee to step in and make sure the necessary documents are signed and business moves forward. Dolton residents have called for Henyard's resignation, including booing her at the last village meeting she attended. All of this comes as 5 subpoenas were served to the village asking for payments, expense reimbursements, and credit card expenditures involving Henyard and her top assistant, Keith Freeman. Okay, going on. Okay, I might come back to her. This is May 29th. Hold on. Okay, so we're going to watch this one. So this is May 30th, 2024, when NBC Chicago posted this video on YouTube, and it says Thornton budget meeting abruptly canceled amid investigation into Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard. So that's where we're at. We're at May 30th right now. So let me change my audio settings real fast.
Budget talks are important. However, they can be boring for some people. But when the person in charge of the budget is at the center of numerous lawsuits and a federal investigation, people pay attention. Such is the case in South Suburban Thornton Township. Some residents have raised concerns about the budget, but last night's meeting was suddenly canceled. NBC5's Regina Waldrop is in South Holland with the story and what happens next.
They came and they waited for almost an hour. Then they were told Tuesday night's Thornton Township Board of Trustees meeting was not going to happen.
She walks in and says, "Hey guys, the meeting is canceled. Sorry, we have to postpone it."
On the agenda, the proposed spending plan for the township, which consists of 17 South Suburban communities and approximately 185,000 residents.
I got all of my paperwork, collected everything, and I'm sitting here ready.
But the budget is the main thing, the reason why I came. Right. But a budget.
Tony Richardson and many others at the meeting have been calling for more transparency. They were hoping to ask questions about the proposed spending plan. They also say they have concerns about Tiffany Henyard. She's the township supervisor and also the mayor of Dolton. Henyard is the focus of a federal criminal investigation and numerous lawsuits by business owners and employees, current and former.
Plenty of red flags. And I can speak so much on the lawsuits and what it does to us as residents from Dolton to the rest of the Thornton Township.
Everybody is fed up. They've let things get too far.
Christopher Gonzalez is a township trustee.
A lot of lack of communication and just, I hate to say, but incompetent.
Gonzalez says he was told Tuesday's meeting was canceled and rescheduled for Friday afternoon because the board didn't have a quorum.
They were here, they were waiting, they wanted to get their voices heard. It's not right.
We reached out to Tiffany Henyard's administration, but didn't hear back before our story aired.
We just need to get some changes made here as far as just moving forward and getting some transparency, getting some questions answered.
And again, that Board of Trustees meeting will now take place this Friday at 1 o'clock at Thornton Township offices. Regina Waldrop, NBC5 News.
Our thanks to Regina. He is a well-known Chicago activist known for his work at crime.
Sorry, I had to find my microphone. Okay. All right. So that was the canceled meeting. Now we're at June 1st. Let me see. Did they actually have this one? No, they were waiting on her here. So that one's not there. Okay. Then we're at June 3rd. Chaos ensues as Dolton trustees override veto on Lightfoot's investigation into Mayor Henyard. Yeah, you're under the microscope. I agree with that, J28. Bonnie said those people are sick of her. Aren't they? That woman said, I was waiting on the budget meeting. That's all I didn't care about nothing else. Okay, so override the veto on Lightfoot's investigation. Yes, the trustees should override because, Tiffany Henyard vetoed the investigation into herself, which that shouldn't even be able to be done. The trustees overrode her veto. So now it's saying it was all but a bench clearing brawl inside Dolton Village Hall on Monday night. Tempers had simmered for hours as village residents chided Mayor Tiffany Henyard for dodging questions about village business and spending. It doesn't matter how many questions we ask you, you don't even answer, said Vivian, a meeting attendee. Henyard repeatedly fired back, but it was the silent, lurking presence of Chicago's former mayor turned paid private investigator Lori Lightfoot that severed any sense of order. 4 of Dolton's 6 trustees initially hired Lightfoot in April to dig into the Henyard spending and village records. And Monday night, trustees moved to override a mayoral veto on paying Lightfoot to carry out that investigation. Henyard supporters silenced the mics, but no matter, a former mayor who once oversaw chaotic Chicago City Council meetings shouted over the clamor. Little of what Lightfoot said registered. Dolton's police chief, a close Henyard ally, forced angry residents to clear Village Hall. Senior trustee Jason House, who hired Lightfoot, said, a lot of residents are curious about the status of the investigation. Outside, Dolton residents thrown out into the parking lot were furious. I think it's ludicrous. I think this whole administration is ludicrous, said resident Renee Clement. It's a case of preferential treatment to an illegitimate, corrupt administration, said Dan Lee, another resident. Okay, now we're into June 6th. Village of Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard vetoes the trustees' new business agenda resolutions from April 8th special meeting. Okay. Dolton native Mayor Tiffany Henyard made history as Dolton, Illinois' first Black female and youngest mayor. I don't care. The village of Dolton, incorporated on December 28th, 1892, is located just south of Chicago. The trustees exceeded their authority, and by appointing Ms. Lightfoot as special investigator, they have violated the village code, the Illinois Municipal Code, and the Open Meetings Act. This is a quote from Tiffany Henyard. Oh, do not refresh on me. She issued a statement of facts surrounding her decision to veto specific agenda items from the April 8th, 2024 special board meeting. My actions follows the trustees' series of procedural irregularities and legal missteps involving the attempted appointment of former Chicago Mayor Lori E. Lightfoot as additional legislative counsel and subsequently as a special investigator, said Mayor Henyard. On April 1st, the trustees abruptly left a regular board meeting after making an out-of-order motion to postpone the meeting to April 8th, 2024 at the Dolton Park District. The trustees also called a special meeting for the same date, citing a section of the Illinois Complied Statutes. Mayor Henyard points out that according to 5 ILCS 120 of the Open Meetings Act, if a change is made in regular meeting dates, at least 10 days notice of the change must be given by publication in a newspaper of general circulation in the area in which the public body functions. That procedure was not implemented by the trustees. Mayor Henyard provided the reasons for her veto of the new business agenda items from the April 8th, 2024 special board meeting, discussion and approval of the appointment of Lori Lightfoot as additional legislative counsel, and discussion and approval to approve retainer agreement with Lori Lightfoot as additional legislative counsel. Lack of legal authority. The appointment of any additional legislative counsel, including Ms. Lori Lightfoot, was without legal authority. The village code explicitly states that the village president has the authority to appoint attorneys for the village, including prosecutors and special prosecuting attorneys, with the advice and consent of the trustees. Legislative counsel can be appointed to assist in legislative duties, but does not have the authority to initiate investigations, a legal proceeding which they are not authorized to perform. Thus, the trustees lack the authority to appoint Lightfoot as additional legislative counsel for any investigative purposes. So, okay, here's the thing. Obviously, if you're the one being investigated, you shouldn't even have a right to vote on that. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Okay, now this is a park district, y'all. Listen to me carefully. This is a park district that is accusing Mayor Tiffany Henyard of political retaliation. It says the head of the Dolton Park District claims embattled Mayor Tiffany Henyard is playing political games with their efforts to improve the town's parks. Dolton Park District President Cleo Jones said Henyard is retaliating after the Park District allowed 4 of her political opponents to use a field house for meetings. Jones said part of the retaliation came in the mail last week. Quote, I have 4 tickets issued from the village of Dolton, said Jones. Each ticket is $500 apiece. That is $2,000 in tickets that I have here. Jones said they were stunned when they received the citations for doing work without a permit. 2 of the tickets were issued for spreading fresh mulch on district playgrounds. Every year, we replenish the mulch in the park to ensure the kids are playing on a safe surface. Healthy mulch, and we do this every year, Jones said. When asked if the district had ever been required to obtain a permit to spread mulch, Jones replied, never in a million years. The other 2 tickets appeared to be for replacing old playgrounds with brand new equipment. My response was, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? What does the village have to do with the park district, said Jones. Jones believes the Dolton Park District, a separate unit of government, is being targeted by Henyard, who is currently at the center of an FBI corruption investigation. The Park District contends this is retaliation for allowing the 4 Dolton Village trustees opposed to Henyard to hold meetings at a Park District field house after they were barred from Village Hall. We do not play politics here, Jones said, and do not put us in the middle of politics by issuing us these political citations. The Park District also alleges that Henyard is holding up $600,000 in grants for park improvements. One grant is from Blue Cross Blue Shield, and the other is from the Illinois Department of Natural Resources. They claim Henyard is refusing to issue the permits needed to proceed with the work. We've gone to the village for permitting, and they've been unresponsive, said Dolton Park District Exec Director Stephanie Weedman. I have a project manager that's working on that, and they just refuse to give us the permits. Weedman said if they don't get the permits in the next few weeks, a $400,000 grant to overhaul Blackstone Park with a new walking path and gazebo will expire. Taxpayers will then have to absorb $150,000 already spent on the park's design. What resident wants to look outside of their house and see beat up stuff? Asked Weedman. If we can upgrade these things and we are prevented from doing so by lack of permit, the residents are suffering. They don't get to look out their door and see nice things because you're stopping it. As for the $2,000 worth of mulch tickets, the district hopes to contest them. However, if they lose, it will come out of the pockets of Dolton taxpayers. Just because we finished doing something safe for the community, upgrading the playgrounds, why? Why would we receive a citation for upgrading our playgrounds? Asked Jones. Mayor Henyard was contacted for a response, but has not yet replied. Obviously, she's probably trying to see how she can steal some of the grant. Right? She might be trying to see how she can. Yeah. CC, I'm not. Yes, I feel like if she can, she's gonna try to find a way, even if it's honestly if it's illegal, because she's been doing other stuff. She doesn't care if she can just probably try to get it. Now this is June 13th, 2024. The article says the village is broke. Dolton Village Board lawyer says Dolton may lose insurance coverage soon. Insurance coverage. It says the corruption and scandal plagued by plagued village of Dolton has failed to pay a number of insurance premiums in recent days, leaving the village at risk of having no liability insurance, according to a lawyer representing the village's board of trustees. The village is broke, wrote attorney Michael McGrath of the firm of Odelson, Murphy, Fraser, and McGrath in a recent email to lawyers representing a group suing the village for violating the state's open records law. And this is his picture right here. This is Michael McGrath. For years, the village of Dolton in Cook County's south suburbs has generated headlines both within the region and increasingly across the country for its governmental dysfunction and perceived mismanagement. According to published reports, Henyard's actions have drawn the attention of federal agents. I'm trying to get back to the insurance because we know by now the FBI is investigating her. I'm still looking because we're going over the background. I don't need to keep repeating it. Let's see. All right. Everything else, I swear, this whole thing, the rest of this article is just everything that we've already talked about. All right. This is another one. Former South Suburban Chicago Township employee sues, says he was wrongfully fired by Supervisor Henyard. This is not the y'all know there's lawsuits out there from other people. They filed individually, but you could tell by the serial number. First of all, they were represented by the same law firm, but they filed individually. It was like 4 or 5 of them. Hey, DG. Okay, so it says another lawsuit has been filed against embattled Dolton Mayor and Thornton Township Supervisor Tiffany Henyard. Dwayne Thrash, a 20-year Thornton Township employee, claims in the lawsuit that he was wrongfully fired after refusing to comply with an alleged scheme by Henyard's team. 20 years. I hope this is free. Okay. The lawsuit said Henyard and her special assistant, Keith Freeman, pressured Thrash to fire the attorney for the Thornton Township Trustees of Schools and replace her with another law firm, Delgado Law Group, LLC. Thrash alleged he was offered a $10,000 pay increase weeks prior if he enabled this change of attorneys. When he declined to comply, he was fired less than a month later, according to a news release on the lawsuit. Oh, don't start with me, Dun Dun. You know I'm trying. Yes, we got Saturday Night Giggles tonight. Yes, all on camera. Hey, Dun Dun. Y'all support my friend. He is a content creator. Saturday Night Giggles is happening tonight. Let me see. Let's see. Thrash's lawsuit seeks compensatory damages for lost wages and emotional distress and injunctive relief to prevent further unlawful employment practices in Thornton Township. Henyard's administration is also the subject of several other lawsuits and investigations. Duke's lawsuit alleged that at a subsequent meeting, Henyard said she herself would be ruined if the information of the incident got out. She concluded the meeting by telling the alleged victim she'd take care of it. That meeting allegedly resulted in the village employee being terminated, along with the officer being demoted and removed from the mayor's security detail. Holmes has not responded to requests for comment on the allegations. Okay, this is a short one, but the title says, Man Taken Away in Handcuffs After Confronting Andrew Holmes at a Dolton Board Meeting. Hey, Purple Unicorn. Okay, so let me get that one ready.
Now we turn to the
Hold on.
Controversy in the south suburbs. It's hit new heights, this time even leading to a person taken away in handcuffs at a board meeting last night in Dolton. Our Mugo Odigwe in the CBS Chicago control room with more on the outrage last night. Mugo also, of course, updating us on how we got here.
Yeah, there's just a lot going on. So from an investigation into Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard and whether or not she misused public funds to a sexual assault allegation, we know Dolton board meetings, they have been chaotic. And last night, Audrina, was no different.
Did you rape that woman? Did you put something in her drink? And damn it, you gonna answer, and you gonna answer me. Promise you that.
Now that is activist Jedediah Brown walking from the podium over to village trustee Andrew Holmes. An officer pushes Brown away while Holmes is stopped from walking over to him. Brown is eventually pulled out of the meeting by officers. Holmes is accused of sexually assaulting a former Dolton employee. His accuser says it happened during a village-funded trip in Las Vegas. Meanwhile, members of the firefighters union also spoke up last night.
Since January of 2020, the village has chose not to settle a contract and refused to bargain with us. They have ignored all requests to reach an agreement and resolve the current situation going on within the fire department.
The union also claims money taken out of their paychecks has not been put in their retirement funds, and add their health insurance premiums are not being paid by the village. And this has led to claims being denied or even sent to collections. Now, we heard an update as well on former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot's investigation into Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard. In an email, Lightfoot wrote she is making, quote, consistent progress, digging into the accusations that Henyard misused village money. Now, Henyard has repeatedly claimed that she did not do that. But we also know the FBI is investigating things at Dolton Village Hall. At this point, though, they still will not elaborate on who is being investigated. We'll, of course, keep you updated. We're live in the control room. Mugo Odigwe, CBS 2 News.
Thank you so much for those.
Wow. Okay, hold on, y'all. Hold on one second. Okay, sorry, y'all. Mr. Trendon also is hearing about this mayor. Okay, so Shan said Jed is my guy. He is serious about advocacy. Okay. His name was Jedediah. Kim Jones said, wow. Hey, Maria. Shan said you should follow him on YouTube. He goes across the country wherever people call him. He is very extra and over the top with his advocacy. I might can look at a couple of his things to look at him. I ain't gonna give him too much because I ain't got no more energy for people. But hold on, Shan. Jedediah. Okay, I'll look at a couple. We might can look at him as a highlight sometimes. April said SMH. I would be 38 hot messing with people's retirement fund. Yes, that part. Okay, so now. Police officers, fire department. Obviously, someone was assaulted on the Las Vegas trip. This misuse of funds to the point that they can't pay the garbage collection bill, y'all. Then you picking on the park because they let somebody meet in a park building. It's too much. Jedediah Brown. Okay. Terry T. Baby said I follow him too, Shan. Okay, so now I'm pulling over the next story. Because we're not done, of course. June 16th, 2024. Let me get that one pulled over. Now let me see my next one. Oh, is that what I have? Okay, that is the one I have open. Okay, let me get my next one up. So we're looking at it's a it don't stop, y'all. It does not stop. Okay, I can't even tell if I'm looking at the same story because another one says they were fired for not, doing her political aspirations, whatever. Like they were fired out of retaliation. I can't even tell if it was the same employee or another employee. Good night. You know what? Let me see. I'm gonna put it over here. I don't know if it's the same employee, but let's look at this school one, the school takeover, and then we're gonna look to see if this is a new employee that also is suing for being wrongfully terminated. Ridiculous. Okay. Thank you, Dee Dee, number 68. Okay, let's see. Happy Saturday. Okay, so this one says federal lawsuit accuses Thornton Township Supervisor Tiffany Henyard and Keith Freeman of retaliation, attempted takeover of school trustee board. This came out June 16th. This article came out June 16th. A federal lawsuit filed on June 13th, 2024, accuses Thornton Township Supervisor and Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard and Keith Freeman, who has been indicted for fraud, of attempting to essentially take over the Thornton Township Trustee of Schools Board. If you did not listen to us going over Keith Freeman's case of what he was being accused of, and he was like, I'm not saying you should be good at it, but I'm just letting y'all know he wasn't even good at it, how he did it. And he was basically paying himself as a contractor. But then he linked it back to an account that easily was under him. It was crazy, y'all. Hey, La Tigre, man, if she has an unaliving accusation, then that means she's worse than Kwame. Hey, Tigre, she fired people and put her friends and family in place to do her bidding. I agree. So there's no telling how many people. Oh my gosh. This woman, oh my gosh. How do you think you're not going to have consequences? That's what I don't understand. How do you think there's no consequences for this? Okay. Let me keep going. It says, we were fully aware of this as it was happening and believe federal authorities were also watching this go down. This is another example of what appears to be Henyard's typical method of obtaining approval or acquiescence of her actions for the past couple of years. Here's what this lawsuit says happened. Plaintiff, a township employee for 20 years, ran for the elected position of township trustee of schools. Henyard and Freeman initiated communications with employee with their plan to take over the trustees of schools. Henyard and Freeman wanted to terminate the attorney for the school trustees and wanted Delgado Law Firm placed as the attorney for the trustees of schools. Henyard and Freeman wanted to terminate the trustees' treasurer and install their handpicked replacement. Andrew Holmes, also a Dolton Village trustee, was elected as a trustee of schools along with plaintiff. Freeman approached plaintiff in reference to Henyard's plan to take over the school and make changes, specifically changes in the attorney and treasurer positions. Plaintiff was given a $10,000 pay raise at the township. Plaintiff was taken out to several breakfasts and other events by Henyard and Freeman to attempt to gain his approval for what they were attempting to do. Plaintiff never agreed. Freeman posted an unauthorized special meeting agenda at the school trustee office in which he had placed agenda items to hire new attorney and new treasurer. There was no quorum, so those attempts failed. Plaintiff went on a scheduled vacation from his township job. After the failed meeting, plaintiff was terminated from his employment at the township for alleged insubordination and misconduct, things plaintiff claims never happened, and that fabricated discipline reports were generated and placed in his personnel file. That's another thing that a lot of the people that were wrongfully terminated say, that there's these things being placed into their file. Like the one woman that was fired, I think she was in HR, and they said she went on some website on her computer, but they had normally used it for that. But how can I put it? It wasn't anything salacious. It was something they had normally used the computers for in that job. But I think that because there was still something written that you can't be on that site, it was something, but you could easily tell it was just part of the whole thing. They had her working out of her car, which I'm like, it's not that easy to change jobs, but it's crazy to have to work out of your car. They demoted her, promoted basically the intern level person over her. This is their pattern. Kwame wasn't that bad. He took care of the city. He just was giving bids for pay, but the bills were paid, and he brought the Super Bowl to Detroit. Ooh, Shannon's all about Detroit. I ain't got nothing to say. Let's see. The 6-count complaint lists First Amendment retaliation, 14th Amendment retaliation, common law retaliatory discharge, conspiracy, common law intentional infliction of emotional distress, and violation of the Illinois Personnel Records Review Act. Okay. And then we have, let's see. I just want to see if this is the same one. Oh, this seems like the same person. That seems like the same person. Okay, let's keep going on. Let me go back. I have more. Hold on. Let me see. This woman here. Okay, they had another board meeting that was canceled without explanation around June 20th-ish. Okay, is this the different one? Because every one of these says devolves into chaos. Oh, she got a different outfit on, so this one might be different. Let me show y'all. Let me see. It has an ad playing. I'm waiting for the video to come up so I could just play the audio of the video on this one.
Meeting was almost shut down as residents yelled at one another and at Supervisor Tiffany Henyard. Things turning chaotic fast, people jumping out of their seats in uproar. Many of tonight's public comment taking aim at Supervisor Henyard, who is also Dolton's mayor, and their lack of trust in her leadership. Some residents here upset that this meeting taking place after many of them said they had been left without answers after Tuesday's scheduled meeting was canceled. They said without explanation, and after many residents waited for an hour. As public comment began, people upset initially over the amount of time allotted for public comment, later going back and forth over what issues needed to be addressed.
Stop shutting down the voice of the people, and you won't have a problem, because we're going to speak, whether you want us to speak or not.
When we're here at the township, please conduct township business. That's all. Y'all fighting Dolton should not be spilling over here.
As tensions rose, Henyard telling the people at tonight's meeting the back and forth yelling was keeping the township from conducting business. Henyard is currently the focus of a federal criminal investigation and has been named in several other lawsuits involving current and former Dolton Village employees.
Friday is July 16th and the 17th. Well, all these deals, I could be more than Megan Thee Stallion. I could be making these.
Let me stop it. They give me a copyright. I didn't even do that. That was them. Okay. Oh, hold on, y'all. Me and Mr. Trenton share an office, and he's trying to get back in. Okay. Hold on. Let me see. Every day I see something about Tiffany. Oh, here we go. June 22nd-ish-esque time frame. So this is at the same board meeting, but this is a little bit of detail in that board meeting. And it says that she denied vendor payments sought by... Oh, wait. Thornton Township Board denies vendor payments sought by Supervisor Tiffany Henyard. So it says concerns over spending transparency by Supervisor Tiffany Henyard led the Thornton Township Board Thursday to deny payments to certain vendors who completed work for the township. I totally understand, because Freeman, which was one of her top people, indicted for fraud, so possibly double, triple paying themselves. I totally get it. Among the payments debated during the special board meeting called after a last-minute cancellation of Tuesday's scheduled meeting were for lawn mowing services for seniors and media content creation for township events. I would definitely look into that media content creation. Hey, Bam Bam. We don't want services to stop. Not our intention whatsoever, but we have to get a hold on some of this spending, Trustee Christopher Gonzalez said. Gonzalez has questioned Henyard's deals with certain vendors, especially those tasked with providing media services such as photography and videography at events, since the Dolton mayor was appointed township supervisor in 2022. However, he said Thursday marked one of the first instances where most of the other trustees voted with him to forego payments until more information is provided. Quote, I think if anybody does work, they should get paid, but I just think the process is all messed up, Trustee Carmen Carlisle said. The board never knows anything before it's time to vote. I'm sending questions all the time, and sometimes my questions get answered and sometimes they don't. Trustees sought to remove 26 charges from the bill payment package, including those for services from several communications, entertainment, and celebrity agencies. The agenda did not show the individual payment amounts or the total bill, and the township spokesperson did not respond immediately to requests for comment. So they didn't give a breakdown or a total, but they're supposed to vote to approve those payments. That's crazy. Ooh, Didi, I don't do don't bring what's it number? Don't bring 45 in here, please. I don't do him. I can't. The stress leading up to his first, I can't do it. Just leave him out of this. I know it does connect, but I can't do it. I can't. Henyard, as supervisor, decides the terms of contracts with service providers without input from the board. But Gonzalez said the board is tasked with approving payments, which often are brought at the last minute without proper explanation and have not yet been funded as part of next year's budget. You can't make a good decision based on that, Gonzalez says. So we're asking, let us see the invoice. Let's see a statement and a complete one. Henyard asked contractors to explain to the board the services and the potential impact of not being paid. After hearing from lawn care specialists about the importance of their services for senior residents, the board amends its motion to allow that specific payment. Henyard continued to press the board to approve the full bill list, at one point calling trustees' complaints of not being provided adequate information ahead of time a bald-faced lie. Thank you, Dee Dee. I appreciate you. A non-itemized invoice and no total, Maria. So it wasn't itemized and they didn't actually have a total that they knew they were approving of. Henyard continued, okay, it's unfair for people not to get paid and you guys come to a board meeting and think that's okay, Henyard said. Y'all got no logic, reason for why you're not paying these bills, but just to create chaos and create this false narrative. Now that's some gaslighting at its finest. She is not transparent, yet it's their fault that they don't want to just approve things. As they're bankrupt, they can't pay their insurance. They can't pay trash collecting services. There's other things, the firefighters union, but she's saying that it's them. Gonzalez pushed back against Henyard's remarks, saying the supervisor needs to commit to providing more advanced information to allow trustees to make fair decisions for the taxpayers. He said the board plans to ensure service providers are compensated ahead of... Oh, Lord. Hold on, let me see if it's still going. I don't even know where it changed the font size and everything. Well, let me just start from where I stopped at. I can't find my little thing. Oh, here it is. He said the board plans to ensure service providers are compensated ahead of the next scheduled meeting on July 16th, but said trustees will continue to push back against bills until the process improves. We're doing what we feel we're supposed to do, Gonzalez said Friday. It's kind of up to her. Is this going to be smoother or not? Because all we're doing is asking questions and things like that, and that's well within our right and our job. I agree. Wanda speak. One of her favorite sayings is false allegations, not allegations, and youth instead of youth and much more. Lord, let's see. Complete gaslighting, April. Right. DG says, why hasn't the Attorney General or Governor's office in Illinois gotten involved and removed her from office? Sounds like a public corruption investigation should be sufficient to at least suspend her. I don't know what the holdups are, but it seems like they are trying, which means there's a fault in the system possibly, because it seems like there's enough people in place that they see it and they are trying to make a difference. But it's almost like there's something that still gives this position too much power to where they can prevent things that prevent consequences to themselves or delay the consequences. Because I don't understand. I don't know. I don't get it. I'm trying to understand, but I really don't understand how this works. How can the state allow those firefighters to risk their lives with no workman's comp? Hopefully the state is going to step in, but that's the thing too. The state they probably would have been notified, but you know how things get buried under paperwork. Hopefully with it making the news, that's one more thing to try to make a priority. She has so many problems that she's causing. I am too. I didn't know I was going to look back and see this woman was still in office. I really didn't. But here we are. She hasn't provided financial reports to the board since September 2023. In my opinion, they didn't get notified until years in, and now the people want action quickly. The higher ups didn't get notified. I wish there was an emergency thing in place, once they know now, to at least suspend her. Her butt shouldn't touch that seat. In my opinion, I know things take time, and that's why I'm not saying I am just like, so I am surprised she's still there, but I also have low expectations for anything to actually happen quickly. But I'm over here wishing on a star that there was something quicker to suspend her until everything gets straightened out, just based on what she's shown, let alone what is coming out from other people. Especially if the feds are involved, she should be suspended pending the outcome of the investigation at a minimum. What is the protocol? Like, is there not some kind of interim suspension? Like, please. I don't know. That's crazy, Shan, that they still have to take a vote. Oh my gosh. I know and I get it, but I don't like it. That's kind of where I am. I understand, but I don't like it. Okay, let me go find our next Tiffany Henyard update. Hold on. Okay, a suburban contractor named in subpoena in ongoing Tiffany Henyard investigation. Hold on. Let me see.
Or we can watch.
I gotta change the audio so y'all can hear it better real fast.
Shines a spotlight on government activity. And this morning, we're taking a closer look at the subpoena and ongoing investigation into Dolton Mayor and Thornton Township Supervisor Tiffany Henyard. The Illinois Answers Project found that federal investigators are now seeking records from a suburban contractor after the village of Dolton paid them hundreds of thousands of dollars in no bid, no contract work in 2022. And here to talk more about this is Illinois Answers investigative reporter Casey Toner. Good morning, Casey. Good to see you again.
Good to see you as well.
Okay, so Casey, tell us a little bit about this subpoena and what you guys have found so far.
Well, we found that in 2022, at the urging of Mayor Tiffany Henyard, the village of Dolton paid hundreds of thousands of dollars in no bid, no contract work to a West suburban contractor named Oak Construction. And this is notable because Oak Construction is linked to multiple public corruption cases. And furthermore, Oak Construction is named in the subpoena in the ongoing federal investigation of Tiffany Henyard.
Oak Construction. Okay, so tell us a little bit more about what you have learned about this entity.
Okay, Oak Construction is based out of Summit, Illinois. And right now, the president of the organization had pleaded guilty to bribing a Cook County assessor's official in exchange for tax breaks. And his late father was also implicated in a bribery case involving former alderman Carrie Austin. And now, they're, at the center of this other investigation in the village of Dolton.
So in terms of the money that was spent, have you seen that, was there work done by this company?
Now, I've seen photos of this work. I've seen testimonies from people involved in this work, saying that they liked what happened. But the issue is, without a contract, you don't know what the bill of goods is that you're buying. And furthermore, without bids, you can't compare that cost against what other people might have received for the same work.
Right. What type of work was this contractor supposed to do?
This was work for senior homeowners to replace their roofs and their windows. And we showed, after the Dolton Village Board didn't want to pay for this work because they never authorized it, the same contractor threatened to put liens on the homes of these senior homeowners.
Really? Okay. Wow. All right. So where do things stand right now in terms of the investigation into Mayor Henyard?
Our story for Illinois Answers noted that this investigation is intensifying. Federal subpoenas have been issued to the village of Dolton. They've been issued to Thornton Township. And furthermore, a member of Tiffany Henyard's inner circle, Keith Freeman, who's the village manager of Dolton and a paid senior advisor at the township, was indicted earlier this year for allegedly committing bankruptcy fraud. And this is a person who is tied very closely to the government and political affairs of Tiffany Henyard.
So, I mean, obviously a lot going on here. And I feel like every week we're learning more information, new information about, the situation in Thornton Township and in Dolton. So when you think about specifically this subpoena and the federal investigation, what happens next at this point?
A process like this can take a long time. It can take months, it can take years. But right now it looks like they're in the fact gathering stage. They're gathering information on the things that occurred under the watch of Tiffany Henyard. And I wouldn't be surprised if they started doing interviews soon and taking those next steps and putting those pieces together.
Okay, Casey Toner, thank you so much for coming in.
So, okay, I wanted to know what they meant when they said no bid, no contract. So they're saying that there was work that actually was needed, but they didn't even do the market research or have prices to compare to determine if it was fair and reasonable. Then also it seems like there can't even be proven that work is done, but yet they're placing liens on the seniors' homes. That's what I took from this. and this was June 22nd, 2024 when they did this, when they talked about this. So let's keep going. Child. Okay, we got the falsified police sergeant test scores. We got that. Let me see. Let's see here. Let's keep going. Y'all, I see some news about an Oakland raider. Oakland raid on this other mayor's office. Is that mayor okay? Like, are they? I ain't gonna ask too much, but tell me she not like Tiffany. Tell me they was just bothering this woman. Okay. I'm trying to see if this is old news or the same news, because this is June 29th. It's talking about another person fired after refusing to agree with Tiffany Henyard's proposed scheme. I'm trying to see which one is this for. Yeah, that's Dwayne again. So that's Dwayne. So we know about his. Child. Okay, this is June 30th. It says she was booed at the thing, but I think, oh yeah, this is old. I hate when they do that, when it's actually an old article, but they make it look like the date's new. We got the pro tem mayor. That was that guy. Okay, activist, confronting, that was Jedediah confronting Andrew Holmes. We got that one. The firefighters demanding answers. We got that one. Unpaid insurance premiums. Goodness. Okay. Unpaid wages too, y'all. Wages and insurance premiums for the firefighters. Oh, hold on. Oh no. Okay, here's another one. Here we go. This is when did this get written? $5 months ago. Child. Okay, well, it's still bad. I'll tell you the title, but this was back in January. Suburban politicians cancer charity threatened with legal action. Oh, that's hers. That's the one. They couldn't even tell where the money was actually going. I thought she was threatening somebody else's cancer charity. That's what I'm saying. Stop. Okay. All right. I think we're caught up with Tiffany. I hate when they do that, but y'all, we caught up. It's enough. We really don't need more, except to know when she is voted out and gone. Let me see here. Do y'all want to go ahead and watch? I can try to find real fast with that judge that was removed from the Georgia Supreme Court. If y'all wanted to watch some news stories on her, because I saw pieces, but I haven't actually watched it all the way through. Taking advantage of seniors, placing liens on their homes when they should be enjoying their golden years. How do they sleep at night? Right. I agree. So let me take all of these down. But do y'all want to look into that Georgia Supreme Court judge that was removed? I can look at her story real fast. So I'm just waiting to see. Oops, let me click the key. Okay, y'all let me know. And give me y'all a second to type just to make sure to see. Okay, cool. I see Queen Sheba got her live. She pushed it back a little bit. So if y'all say yes, we'll just look at it real fast and then keep it moving. April said, I don't mind it. Okay, hold on. Georgia Supreme Court's removes judge. I'm looking for one that'll kind of give us a good summary. I would like it to be the news so they don't mind us actually, talking about it and showing it. Okay, I see Peaches and Cream says yes. Yeah, this looks like a hot mess. Okay, I'm gonna have to piece her together real fast because only long form. Oh, law and crime. Okay, y'all, I'm gonna try to speed it up just a little bit, so hopefully I don't miss too much of Queen Sheba's. I said what I said. But yes, let's look into this because we gotta understand this whole thing with her. So shout out to Law and Crime. I will link the video later on after the live. Ciao. Here we go. Hold on. All right, y'all. Change the audio.
Trying me like this, died 30 days later. I pray for you. Regardless, wise, where I be in here with Young Thug. I ain't what? Yeah. Where in the world is this man going? I got it. I can walk on my own. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. You a lie. You're a liar.
I'm telling you what I'm telling you.
You're a liar. Let him go. Let him go. Let him go. And that's on me. She's a judge. Go get my judge. Go get my judge. You just punched the cop. No, I did not.
Hold on. Can y'all hear me now? My bad. Y'all can't even hear me. This is the whole body cam footage. This is not the news giving the details. I see Nate the lawyer, who is really good at summarizing. Let me know for real in the chat. Do you think Nate would be mad if I played his video? I'm trying to find another one just in case y'all be like, yeah, he might. Because I don't know how he is about people reacting to his stuff, but he is one of the good ones to me that covers stuff. And he's a lawyer. I mean, you know, but y'all let me know. If not, I'm gonna try to keep finding her somewhere else. I just need the actual story. No problem. 41 Fit in the Bushes. Maria says sisters wear masks because there's something in the air affecting us. Sad part is she was actually saving a woman from being assaulted and the only one who did anything. So I thought she was I don't want to say delusional, but I thought something was happening in her mind about it. That's crazy. That's crazy. Okay. Let me see. I'm trying to find the actual news story on her, which would be great. But they're all like a minute long. Okay, we're going to have to do this one. This one's 5 minutes. So we'll do this one and then I'll get out of here for now. Okay, so let's do this one because this is the actual news. So, okay, here we go.
An ugly moment during a homeowners association meeting has Douglas County probate judge Christina Peterson in more legal hot water.
Peterson already faces complaints from a state regulatory board, which asked but failed to get her temporarily suspended from office last year.
Fox 5 I-Team reporter Randy Travis returns with more on his investigation. Randy?
That's right, Russ and Courtney. Peterson's only been in office a year and a half. Already she faces 50 counts. That's 50, accusing her of violating the Georgia Code of Judicial Conduct.
You can make it right.
The March meeting was supposed to be a friendly town hall for the residents of the Silver Creek Ranch neighborhood in Douglas County. Then Christina Peterson began speaking, repeating her demand the board be thrown out and make way for a special election.
You have the ability to call a special election to give the homeowners the opportunity to come, congregate, nominate, and elect their own board.
So I can only go by our legal. It's not third party.
The probate judge knows what she's talking about. Listen to her. She got 2 pending lawsuits against us right now.
The angry reaction to Peterson stems from a lawsuit she and others filed in 2017 against the HOA that led to a $70,000 settlement. According to a complaint filed against her by the Judicial Qualifications Commission, Peterson never shared that money with her clients.
Do solemnly affirm.
It's one of 50 counts of alleged misconduct Peterson now faces.
You're going trying to follow the law. Do what the Supreme Court tells you to do. How about you pay attention to that? Why you stole the $70,000 from your plaintiffs? Give them their money.
If you're suing and you're getting money or you're taking something from this community, I don't think you should be speaking out like that. Don't take that from somebody who ain't got nothing.
You're going to continue to be not having things you don't follow the law.
The JQC accused Peterson of violating the Code of Judicial Conduct in the meeting by advising the HOA that they are getting bad advice from their legal counsel.
You're an attorney. Would you start to negotiate with the other side's clients when you knew that they were represented?
I think the issue with this is that for a judge, you don't give up your right to speak or to talk. And I don't know that this was negotiation.
Call a special election. I will dismiss the lawsuit.
Well, now we're up to 50 counts. That sounds like a lot.
It sounds like a lot because they keep adding and adding and adding counts because they utterly failed in trying to get her interim suspended last year.
I felt like we was walking into a trap.
Last year, Peterson ordered this woman jailed for contempt of court after she asked to change her father's name on her marriage license. PJ Skelton only learned of her real father's name after the wedding, but Peterson decided she had lied when she filled out the original form.
So you guys thought it was just going to be an easy paperwork change?
The easy fix. If I'd known, to be honest with you, if I'd known that she would have went to jail behind this, I would have told her just forget about it.
The JQC said Peterson failed to respect and comply with the law. She has denied the allegations. But that's not the only marriage where Peterson finds herself in trouble.
You cannot go in this building. And eventually she went in.
The Fox 5i team also revealed how Peterson ignored safety rules by allowing the public into the courthouse for weekend wedding ceremonies when no deputies were assigned to the security checkpoint. The JQC said she did this despite being told no by the sheriff's office.
Did the judge put anybody at risk that day?
She put all of the employees that work in this courthouse and the citizens who would come that Monday morning at risk.
Peterson's attorney, Lester Tate, once served on the JQC. He said he's never seen a case with so many counts.
If they had something that was serious enough to be removed from the bench, one count was sufficient to do that. It's just bizarre to me that they want to continue adding to it, but it's also abundantly clear to me that the reason they do is because they feel like they don't have enough to prevail.
The neighborhood HOA president, Derek Houston, said his attorney would not let him talk on camera. But as for Peterson, he said, quote, "I thought her actions were disruptive and her comments were totally unprofessional and inappropriate." And by the way, the neighborhood is going to have their annual meeting and election next month. So that may take the wind out of the sails of the judge's lawsuit.
Okay, I want to find if someone else will talk a little bit more about how she took her client's money from a lawsuit settlement. I feel like that's what I just heard. Hold on. Hold on. Let me see. Ooh, this was 2 years ago when it happened. Okay. Ooh, okay. Hold on, y'all. So this was 2 years ago when they covered this. She was doing a lot, Shapey. A lot. Okay. Get the sound right.
Judge at one of the lower classes of court is due to make a lot of money in 2021. Douglas County commissioners allowed probate judge Christina Peterson to pocket all fees collected for birth and death certificates.
That's in addition to her salary of $127,000 a year. And Fox 5i team reporter Randy Travis says it's adding up to some really eye-popping numbers, right?
Yeah, Courtney and Russ, this investigation is all about money, and it's not just what Judge Peterson got to keep. We also tried to see what happened to the cash she insists to be paid to release a woman held in contempt of court, someone who was just trying to add her real father's name on her marriage license.
We didn't know, like, oh, you can go to jail for this. We didn't know that.
Yet there was Montavia Skelton rushing to the ATM in the Douglas County Courthouse to withdraw $500 because he said probate judge Christina Peterson told him that was the only way she'd release his wife from jail.
There was no way you could convince the judge that this was just a mistake.
Man, that case was over with.
Montavious and his wife PJ were married in 2016. She never knew her father, so on the marriage license application, the native of Thailand wrote down the name of the uncle who raised her. But this year, after learning her father's real name, PJ contacted the probate court because she thought she needed to let them know too.
So you guys.
Okay, that's not what I wanted. That's not the one. I wanted to see the one where they talked about like the woman that was screaming, or not screaming, but she was just speaking to her at the meeting about her taking somebody else's money. I want to know that one. So I'll try to find that one. We'll come back later and reconvene on that one. But I'm curious, but that's Judge Peterson. Goodness. Okay, y'all. I will get off of here and I will see y'all soon. If I don't see you for anything else, tonight we have Saturday Night Giggles. So I'm going to see you for that. As y'all see, July 6th, whoop, whoop, we have a special guest. And then after the special guest, it'll be just me, Don, and Jay Taylor to carry on with our antics. So hopefully y'all come on out. Oh, let me take my banner off. I think the time, it's at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. So hopefully I'll see y'all tonight if you don't see me before then to cover something else. Bonnie said I'll be in there. Thank you, Bonnie. But I definitely appreciate y'all. And I will see you soon. Bye.
I've been taking my time. Taking all of your time.